There will never be an end to the war against Israel unless the elephant in the room is finally recognized. It does not matter if the entire government of Israel is completely dovish or far left. The conflict will only end when the elephant in the room is finally acknowledged and removed. Public radio, countless so-called leftist media outlets, leftist individuals, progressivists, and others ignore or dismiss the elephant in the room in their eagerness to show their so-called leftist, progressive credentials. The elephant in the room is hatred for Jews and, by extension, hatred for their one small country. It is easier to remain popular and part of the crowd by sticking to feel-good narratives or self-righteous narratives devoid of responsibility than to recognize this hatred. The mob wants to condemn Israel and perpetuate the hatred that keeps this conflict unresolved and never-ending. The reasons for wanting Israel destroyed and continuing the unrelenting hatred against Israel and Jews sometimes changes with the times and other times remains the same. Jews get demonized for being too white, or not being white, for not being indigenous or not sufficiently indigenous as the grounds for murdering them, or for not accepting mainstream religions, or for numerous other fabricated or ridiculous reasons, too countless to mention. Even if one demented reason for hating Jews or Israel is thrown to the side, another demented reason pops up to take its place. And thus the war never ends. The many enemies of Israel state very clearly that they want Israel and Jews destroyed. Hamas is just one of many that have made it clear that there can be no Israel and that the Jews living inside of Israel are fair game for rape, murder, mutilation, regardless of whether or not they are civilians. Years before the kidnapping, rape, murder, burning people alive, beheading, and other atrocities that took place against people in Israel on October 7th, Hamas had already sent wave after wave of suicide bombers into Israel until Israel finally sealed off its border with Hamas-controlled Gaza. It is no more difficult to find the endless demonizing, incitement, demented hatred, and nonsense against Jews and Israel than it is to find a cup of water. Some say the Jews must be gathered into one spot, Israel, so that they can be more easily be slaughtered. Others say that the Jews must be expelled from their one small country, with many to be raped and murdered on their way out. Just like the denial, justifications, and excuses made regarding the Holocaust, many are those that do everything they can to discredit, deny, excuse, justify, or promote the raping, murdering, kidnapping, mutilations, and other atrocities that occurred on October 7th. Some blame October 7th on the Jews and Israel itself. They are among the many that perversely hate Jews so much that they can only see Jews as demonic and never as living, breathing, actual human beings. Israeli and Palestinian Arab are married to one another on a small piece of land. The majority population of Israel are Jews that originated in the Middle East and North Africa. They and the millions born on Israeli soil have nowhere else to go but for Israel. The path forward is not what millions of demented people around the world want: more rape, slaughter, kidnappings, mutilations, and atrocities against the Jew. The path forward is not supporting Hamas and Hamas-type organizations that exist to kill Jews, wage war, and then use their own civilian populations as human shields. The hatred against Jews and their one small country and the effort to destroy Israel and slaughter its Jewish population, where more than half of the world population of Jews lives, must finally be recognized and removed. It is the size of an elephant in a single room, consisting of hate, evil, and darkness. Pretending it does not exist or ignoring its existence does a service to no one.